Protesters rallied outside the residence of the United Nations chief to demand action for the release of the remaining Israeli hostages held by Hamas since October 7. Andrea Santos has the story.
Protesters gathered outside the New York City residence of United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres on Friday to express dissatisfaction with the international body's stance on the Israel-Hamas war and to demand action for the release of Israeli hostages held by Hamas. The demonstrators, including relatives of the hostages, holding flowers and Israeli flags while displaying signs that read "Bring them back home now" and "Kidnapped."
I'm from Kibbutz Be'eri. Both of my parents got kidnapped at the 7th of October. My mom came back like 2 weeks ago, but my dad is still there. She told me like horrible stuff about what she's been through there. Doesn't matter that he's Jewish or I don't know what's the reason that they took him, because he's living in Israel, okay? He's a person. He's a human. They are all humans. They are not just names and pictures. They are humans. They are a family. And we need them back home now.
The protesters accused the United Nations of legitimizing terrorism through its perceived inaction and called for stronger measures against Hamas. They are urging United Nations Secretary General Guterres to prioritize the issue and take decisive action to secure the release of the hostages.
Hamas attack on October 7th violated the UN resolutions, violated the international humanitarian law that is established by the international institutions, and we are here in order to tell Mr. Guterres that he is not standing behind the historical resolutions and commitment of his own organization.
Around 135 people remain hostage of Hamas in the Gaza Strip. A 7-day truce forged in late November saw Hamas release over 100 people, including 86 Israeli women and children. And in exchange, Israel freed around 240 Palestinians from Israeli jails. Israeli officials claimed around 140 people remain in captivity in Gaza. The ceasefire collapsed and the fighting resumed on December 1, with Israel and Hamas blaming each other. Israeli forces claimed that Hamas broke the truce, while Hamas alleged that Israel had refused all offers to extend it. Hamas launched an unprecedented attack on southern Israel on October 7, killing around 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and kidnapping over 200 according to Israeli officials. Israel declared war on Hamas and a complete siege of Gaza with a large-scale campaign of airstrikes. Palestinian officials reported had killed over 1,500 people in the first week and many thousands more since. A ground incursion began at the end of the third, with Israeli leaders vowing to wipe out Hamas. The Israeli Defense Forces, or IDF, claimed that Hamas locations and structures were targeted in the response. The IDF also said it killed Hamas commanders, and many of the group's operatives have surrendered recently. But United Nations experts warned against collective punishment for the people of Gaza before predicting a humanitarian crisis, and then claimed that hell is settling in for the region. Reporting, this has been Andrea Santos, SMNI News.